Hi, and welcome to Lamplighter Kids Stories. My name is Rebecca, and this is my squirrel friend Momo.
Hello, kids!
We have an exciting story for you today. In each of our stories, we are going to learn about one virtue. A virtue is anything that is good and right and true. Virtues are like little lights that shine bright and beautiful in a story.
Can I tell them about Letters from Momo?
Go ahead.
If you'd like to learn more about my fun forest adventures, you can check out my Letters from Momo digital bundles on our website, lamplighterkids.com. In each Letter from Momo bundle, you'll find fun stories, short biographies, and great activity pages. I may talk a little bit about acorns in there as well.
If you'd like to order a Letters from Momo digital bundle, just ask your adult to visit lamplighterkids.com. You can also find Lamplighter Kids merchandise and our first Seeds of Character book there called Jerome's Journey. So, are you ready? Come and listen while we light the way to your imagination. Everyone, we are finally back to tell you the rest of the story about Cinnamon the Fox. I'm sorry it took so long to get this story to you.
Acorn!
Momo, what's wrong? I mean, it's not unusual for acorns to be on your mind, but I've never known you to say that word with such sadness before.
It's because I've never yearned so badly for the sweet acorns that come from up the river. But now, I'll never get them.
Ah, I see. I'm guessing this has to do with your decision to not trust that water rat about cleaning his boat.
Yes, I know it was the right decision because something inside me just knew that even if I did clean his boat, he probably wouldn't have paid me with those acorns since he already did that before to some of my friends. But now my mind can't stop thinking about the acorns from up the river. Some squirrels who have tried them around here say that they are the biggest and juiciest ever. Oh, acorns, acorns.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But for what it's worth, I think you really did make the best decision, knowing what you knew about him. And of course, I know the best cure for distracting that little acorn brain of yours.
A story?
Yes. Why don't you sit back and I can tell you the rest of Cinnamon's adventure in the big forest. When we left off last, he had just decided to trust a troop of dancing deer.
Hooves on tinder. What in the forest is that creature walking towards us?
Cinnamon heard one of the deer exclaim. His little fox heart was racing. It took everything within him to keep going towards the group of deer. He felt they looked trustworthy, so he trusted his gut.
It's a rabbit, Jerry, right? I've seen rabbits just like that across the forest. It's no rabbit if I ever saw one. Looks more like a parrot to me.
A parrot? Well, I've never seen a parrot, Julia, since we do live in a forest, not a rainforest. But you might have a point there.
Oh, I see now. It's a fox.
The first deer exclaimed as he stepped out in front of the rest and got a better view of Cinnamon.
A little fox at that. And hello, little guy. What could a little fox like you be doing without his mama? It can be a dangerous forest out here, you know.
Cinnamon, now just a few feet away from the deer, stopped, took a deep breath, and said,
Hello, my name's Cinnamon, and I'm very lost and hungry. I smelled your food and thought I could maybe, if it's okay with you. Hungry!
The deer named Julia declared before Cinnamon could even finish his sentence.
The poor little fox is hungry.
Well, ain't that the saddest shame in the world, said another deer. Nobody should go hungry in such a great forest as this." "Well now, don't you worry, little Cinnamon Fox," said the first deer, who appeared to be their troop leader. "We have a feast here and plenty to share. Why don't you come over and eat with us? Then you can tell us how you came to be lost, and if we're able, we'd love to help you find your way home. We're the dancing deer of Derby-Doo, after all, and making creatures smile is our speciality." Cinnamon felt so happy he could almost cry. He had felt so alone and scared in the big forest, and now he felt he had some friends.
"Oh, thank you so much, Mr.
"My name's Geronimo, and this is Julia, Jerry, Jenny, John, and Justin. I'm a little surprised you don't seem to have heard of our dancing crew. We perform all around the forest, and, if I can say so humbly, have quite a following of creatures who come out to watch us. But enough of my talking. Let's get our guests some food, folks." The other jay-named deer needed no further instructions. With jumps and twirls, they scooped delicious-smelling foods onto a bark plate and got Cinnamon set up comfortably. With much laughter and chattering, they all sat to join him for the meal. Cinnamon felt as if he had never eaten such lovely foods before. He was used to the simple foods his mama brought him, but apparently the dancing deer of Derby-Doo were very good chefs as well as good performers. Wild berries and apples, sweet potatoes and herbs, honey and greens. These were all new flavors to him, but he loved each one. When Cinnamon finally filled his belly to the top, he stretched out on the cool grass and yawned. He looked up at the sky and then jumped. "Oh!" he cried out, bouncing up on his feet. "The sun is almost down. It's going to be nighttime soon. I need to get going. I need to find my home before dark. I'm so sorry I have to leave so soon, but thank you all for the food. It was delicious. I wish I could stay. Stop right there, little one." Julia shook her head, smiling. "You think we'd just let you up and off like that?" "Them woods ain't no safe place for a little foxy like you, 'specially at night," said Jerry.
"Yeah, we've got coyotes and owls and hawks," said Justin. "Oh, and those cunning black crows, always trying to trick little creatures into getting food for them."
"Or being food for them." Julia rolled her eyes. "Black crows?" said Cinnamon. "I think I met one of them. Blackbeak, I think. He said he wanted to help me." The deer of Derby-Doo all shook their heads. Geronimo spoke up. "Well, it's a good thing you have some sense in your brain, little one. Blackbeak is the sneakiest of all crows. He's always only looking out for his own interests, hoping to snag an extra bite or two wherever he can. He just wanted to befriend you so that you would sneak into the farmer's garden for him. He's gotten many a little critter in trouble in these parts." "It's a good thing you fell in with us instead," said Jenny, to which all the other deer shouted, "Hear, hear." "But I really do need to get going. I need to get home somehow." Cinnamon looked up worriedly at the darkening sky. "Oh, of course you do," said Jerry. "And we're going to take you. Isn't that right, everyone?" Cinnamon laughed as all the deer whooped and hollered in agreement, a couple of them actually jumping over each other's backs in the excitement. "But we shouldn't make the journey at night," said Jerry, peering into the forest. "There are dangers even for deer like us out in the wood. We'll find a safe place to sleep tonight and start off first thing in the morning. Sound good, little one?" A cold breeze blew through Cinnamon's fur, and he shivered. He thought about how warm all his siblings and his mama would be in their den tonight. But, with a deep breath, he nodded at his new friends and began to follow them into the forest to find a safe place to sleep. Even though Cinnamon would have much rather been safely home in his den tonight, he felt a great sense of relief that at least he didn't have to be alone in the forest anymore. The dancing deer of Derby-Doo laughed and chatted as they settled down into a cozy and protected spot in the forest. Cinnamon collapsed on the floor next to John and Justin. As he drifted off to sleep, he felt happy that he had decided to trust this group of deer. Perhaps tomorrow he'd find his family again. And oh, what a story he'd have to tell them now.
You getting tired, little Spice?
Jenny looked down at Cinnamon as they tread through the forest. The sun was already high in the sky, and everyone had been walking for a couple hours now.
Our legs are 1,000,000 times longer than yours. I'm sure it's a bit hard to keep up, eh?
Cinnamon was breathing hard. They had been walking steadily up the side of a rocky mountain.
I'm okay,
he panted. Jenny called ahead.
Oi, team! Let's take a break, shall we? Little Spice here needs to catch his breath.
The others bounded back down, chattering excitedly about this and that as they came. Cinnamon plopped heavily onto the cool ground. He wished he had the long, bouncy legs of these deer. Walking through the forest looked so effortless for them.
So anyway, he heard Geronimo saying, we'll definitely have to cancel our performance at Pinecone Ridge, but once we find Little Spice's den here, we'll just reschedule so we can perform on that side of the forest. What do you think?
Great idea, Jerry,
said Justin.
You always have the best ideas,
said Jenny. That's why you're our leader, said Julia. You bet, said John. As the deer continued to plan their next performance excitedly, Cinnamon, finally able to breathe steady again, began to look around. He gasped in amazement when he caught sight of something he'd never seen before. Between the trees in the distance was the most amazing view. He could see the forest stretching on into the horizon. Cinnamon had never imagined that his forest was this large. He stood up and began walking towards the amazing view, hoping to see even more of it between the trees. Then he noticed that there was a large rocky ledge nearby that stretched far beyond the trees. He would be able to see much better from there. He trotted over and walked cautiously onto the ledge. What lay before him made him inhale with wonder. The forest below stretched out all around him into the distance. He could see little lines of rivers here and there, and he thought he saw the very river which he had just come from. On one side of the forest, large blue mountains rose up. He felt like he could sit on this rock and stare at this view forever. Cinnamon jumped so high that it was a wonder he didn't fall off the ledge. He looked behind him and, sure enough, sitting on a low branch nearby, stood Blackbeak.
Hello again, little foxy. Last time I saw you, you were wandering alone in the forest. Now look at you, hanging over the side of a cliff. You's a very foolish little foxy if I'd ever seen one. And I see you're trusting those silly deer over there, following them all around the forest. I tried to help you once and you just walked away. But I'll tell you what, I'll offer you my help again, out of the kindness of my heart.
Cinnamon had already begun backing up slowly on the rock. He looked over towards the deer troop to call for help, but apparently they had begun practicing their dance moves again and were not paying attention to anything else.
Oh, thank you, Blackbeak, sir, but I think I'll stick with the deer.
Blackbeak jumped on a branch closer to Cinnamon.
They do they? Well, suit yourself. Just remember that old Blackbeak is around if you ever need another way home.
With more cawing, he flapped his black wings and flew off again down the side of the cliff and into the distance. Cinnamon shivered. With quick steps, he ran back to his dancing friends. More than ever, he was ready to get home now. He just wished it could be soon. Thankfully for Cinnamon, his wish was granted. Not long after they finished climbing the last of the rocky hill, and descending down the other side, something began to smell familiar to him. It was his river. It smelled just like the bank of the river where his mama had taken them to fish just the day before. He excitedly told the dancing deer, and soon he was leading them with his nose through bushes and trees until the familiar bend in the river lay before them.
I can't believe it! We made it already!
Cinnamon yipped in excitement, and the dancing deer laughed behind him.
Now I know exactly how to get back. Follow me!
Cinnamon found the path that his mama had taken him towards his den. He could see fox prints in the ground and was excited to find that they did indeed smell a familiar sense of his siblings. Before he even reached his den, he heard the sweet voice of his mama.
Come on, everyone! I know I smell him! I smell Cinnamon! He must have found his way back home!
I'm here, Mama! Right here!
Cinnamon yelled out. With great joy, the fox family was reunited. Juniper kept apologizing again and again for being so daring on the branch, while his other siblings kept licking his fur all over. Finally, the fox family settled down, and for the first time noticed an audience of deer around them, all watching the scene with wet eyes.
Oh, hello there. Do forgive me. I was so happy to see my kit again. I didn't realize you were there. Wait, don't I know you?
Cinnamon's mom squinted at the deer.
Oh, you're the dancing deer of Derby-Doo. Oh, wow. I saw you perform long ago, before I had any of these kits with me. You guys are amazing. But what are you doing in our neck of the woods?
Cinnamon stepped back from his family and told them his whole story from start to finish. The dancing deer added details whenever they felt the story needed them.
Well, I must say, for a fox who wasn't taught anything about the outside world, you did a great job deciding who to trust in this forest, said Cinnamon's mom when the story was through. Thank you all so much for helping my Cinnamon find his way home. I don't know how to thank you enough.
Geronimo looked at his partners and cleared his throat.
You're very welcome, ma'am, of course. And as far as repayment, we ask nothing except we have decided to do our next performance over by the river. We saw a great clearing there. If you could help spread the news, we're hoping to find a big audience to come enjoy our show.
Cinnamon's mom smiled.
Oh, we would love to help with that, wouldn't we, kids?
Cinnamon and his siblings all jumped up and down, yipping with excitement. Cinnamon had never felt more happy. Not only was he home at last, but also they were about to watch his new friends perform. It almost, just almost, made the whole adventure worth it.
Welcome, one and all, to the Dancing Deer of Derby-Doo show. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy forest lives to come relax and enjoy some fun. We haven't performed on this side of the forest in years, so we hope this will be a real treat for you.
Jerry paced confidently back and forth, addressing a large forest audience that had gathered by the river to watch their show. Cinnamon and his family were settled down right in front of the crowd for the very best view. Many squirrels, birds, mice, rats, hedgehogs, foxes, and rabbits shuffled down into their patches of forest, excitement buzzing from all. Our first song is dedicated to the fox family, without which we wouldn't be here today. Jerry winked over at Cinnamon, and then the show began. We're the dancing crew of Derby-Doo, and we're happy that we found you. Just to wait and see what we can do. We can jump like this
and spin too.
It's hard to imagine how we can be anything but friendly. Can't you see that with discernment you and me will know who to trust?
Certainly. jump now.
Using your mind to find what's right and true.
Keep on going now.
Discernment.
Flip around now.
The ability to know the very best thing to do.
Clap your hands now.
Discernment.
Jump along now.
Using your mind to find what's right and true.
Keep on going now.
Discernment.
Just a little
The
longer.
ability to know the very best thing to do. The dancing deer of Derbity-Doo outdid themselves again. Each creature that came that day was thoroughly entertained by their amazing acrobatic moves and funny jokes. Cinnamon had never laughed so hard in all his life. He felt very thankful that, though his adventure had been scary at times, it had led him to these amazing new friends. He had worked hard to make good decisions along the way, and now he was home.
Using your mind to find what's right and true. Wow, that's a catchy song. I like it.
Me too, Momo. I guess those Derbity-Doo deer know what they're doing when it comes to entertainment. They also knew what they were doing when it came to helping a fox in need. It's a good thing that Cinnamon was practicing discernment while on his forest adventure. Discernment means that you are able to make good decisions based on the information before you. You don't necessarily need discernment for easy decisions like what to eat for breakfast or what to play at the park. But practicing discernment is very important for harder decisions like who you choose to trust or whether or not a situation is dangerous. Cinnamon had to make his discerning decisions all alone while he was lost in the forest. But an even better way to discern a situation well is to think it through with a trusted family member or friend.
Kind of like how you helped me think through my decision with the water rat.
Exactly! It's very helpful to have others help us when making the best decisions.
Oh no, that reminds me. Acorns.
Oh boy, I guess it's hard to forget about something sweet and delicious, even after a good story. Okay, it's question time. Question 1. Can you think of any situations in which you would need to have discernment to make a decision? Question 2. Have you ever been in a situation where it was hard to know what the right decision would be? How did you end up deciding?
Acorns. Oh, acorns.
Okay, it looks like I'm going to need to find something else to help distract Momo. Hey, I know. Momo, what do you say we go back to the river and see if maybe there is a water rat that we can trust over there? Not every water rat is as sneaky as the one you met after all. I've even heard rumors that some of them actually sell the sweet acorns from up the river on their boats.
What? How have I never heard this? What are we even doing here? Let's go!
And there goes Momo. I better follow him before he runs in the wrong direction out of pure excitement. I hope you all are having a great week, and I look forward to sharing another Lamplighter story with you very soon. Thanks for listening to Lamplighter Kids Stories today. If you liked our story, please feel free to share it with your loved ones and leave a review. It really helps other listeners find these stories. If you're interested in purchasing our Letters from Momo digital bundles or Momo's Seeds of Character book, just visit our website at lamplighterkids.com.